If you're looking for the easiest, crispiest fried chicken of your entire life, then you've come to the right place. You heard? So we're making chicken katsu. Katsu or katsu? This is that one fried chicken that whenever you go to a Japanese restaurant, you're like, man, what is that one fried chicken thing with the sauce?
Oh yeah, it's chicken katsu.
That's what you were thinking of, probably. This is basically the same thing as the pork version of it. It's a panko breaded meat, but it's chicken instead of pork. To me, it's reminiscent of a schnitzel, but crispy, you know? The B-roll song is on Spotify, and it's down in the description, so are all my social media. Follow me on Instagram and all that stuff. It's down below. So with all that said, let's make this, shall we?
I think this might be one of my first chicken breast recipes that I've ever uploaded. I don't know how to feel about that, but you're gonna start with 4 or however many you want plump, skinless, boneless chicken breasts. Now, you see, one of the issues with frying meat is that it's always unevenly shaped. That means it's gonna cook at different degrees depending on how thick it is. And that is exactly why we're gonna put it between 2 sheets of plastic wrap. Apparently don't have a meat mallet. I thought I did, couldn't find it. So I used a pot, which works perfectly fine. Whatever you got, and just pound out that thicker part so that it's completely even in thickness from edge to edge until it's about 1/2 inch or 12 millimeters thick. By the way, this is not an optional step. If I read that somebody doesn't do this and it doesn't work out, well, there you go. Now, once you've pounded out all your chicken breasts, you're gonna get a breading station going. Fill 1 pie dish or rimmed container with 2 cups or 290 grams of all-purpose flour, another one with 3 eggs, plus 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of water, whisked together, obviously. And then the last one with 2 cups or 210 grams of panko breadcrumbs. The good stuff, you know?
Quick little note about this stage. You don't really need measurements. It's just a matter of having enough to coat the chicken. It's not that complicated. This is one of those recipes that I think is perfect for people to learn proportions visually.
Wow, really good advice. Thank you to myself for that one. Now, before we get started, you need to season your chicken breast. Now, you can go ahead and just season them with salt and go right into making this recipe. What I would recommend best is to season them with salt ahead of time and let them sit in the fridge overnight. Another way that I like to prepare these is I'll just rub them down with a light miso, no salt or anything, just a light miso, and let them sit in the fridge like that overnight. And then I'll bread them the next day. Obviously, totally optional. You can go ahead and cook them now, but they'll be the most flavorful that way. All right, let's run you through this breading setup. It's very, very simple. So first thing, take 1 chicken breast and toss it in the flour mixture just to coat both sides completely and evenly. Shake off the excess flour, then dredge it in the egg mixture. And quick note to keep your hands from being super messy is use 1 hand for wet and 1 hand for dry. Super simple, don't mix it. Both sides, make sure that everything gets coated. Don't rub it too much, just, splash, splash. Make sure that there's no dry spots. And then drop your chicken breast in the panko and cover it in the panko and press to get it to adhere to the chicken breast. Do that to both sides. Make sure it's totally coated and then place it on a small sheet of parchment paper. And then just rinse and repeat. Keep doing that with every chicken breast and stack a layer of parchment paper in between each breast and stack them on top of each other. Don't stack chicken breast to chicken breast. Make sure that there's parchment paper separating it first. Now, if you want, you can actually bread these ahead of time and leave them in the fridge overnight if you want to cook them the next day, or you can do it the same day. You can use all these mixtures again within the next 3 days if you leave them in your fridge covered. Okay, so we're gonna fry these the easy way. First things first, you need a 10-inch cast iron skillet or some sort of 10-inch skillet, pot, whatever. To that, you're gonna add 2 cups or 473 milliliters of high heat frying oil. Go ahead and heat that oil over moderately high heat. I would say like in between medium and medium high. To be honest, I usually don't temp check for recipes like this where I'm shallow frying. I just wait until I see the oil shimmering and it's nice and hot. But if you want specificity, then it would be 325 to 350 Fahrenheit or 160 to 175 degrees Celsius. Next, just take a breaded chicken breast and drop it in that oil. Make sure to drop it facing away from you because if the oil splashes, you want it to splash away from you, not onto your face. Fry for 3 to 5 minutes or until crispy golden brown. If it's browning too quickly, turn the heat down. Then flip it over and fry it for an additional 3 to 5 minutes or until an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit is reached. Place the done chicken breast on a wire rack set over a baking sheet and let it cool until it's not, flaming hot. And then just repeat with all your pieces of chicken. That's literally it. Just make sure that your chicken's being cooked all the way through. If you pounded it to the correct thickness, you should have no issues. Okay, so we got the chicken fried, but we don't have the classic tonkatsu sauce. Let's make that. It's very simple. All you gotta do is mix together 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of ketchup, 1 tablespoon or 14 grams of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon or 20 grams of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon or 20 grams of miso, which that part is optional, 1 teaspoon tablespoon or 8 grams of honey. Mix that together, and that's it. I also made a nice spicy cabbage slaw to go with it. Really simple. I just thinly sliced some cabbage, and then I tossed it in some salt, kind of bruised it and squeezed it to get a better texture. Then I added half a bunch of thinly sliced green onions, some of that crispy chili garlic topping. I don't know if you've ever had that before, but it's very good. Chili oil would work great here as well, which I do have a recipe for, link in the description, and some lemon juice. Mix it up, taste it, and adjust acid and salt levels if needed. And that's it, you have chicken katsu. You can serve it with that spicy cabbage slaw and some rice and some of its sauce. And you can make one of those cool sandwiches that's cut all even and lined up and stuff. For the sandwich, I just use some of that slaw, some store-bought white bread because that's what they use for some reason, some of the sauce, some Kewpie mayo, top it, cut it nice and evenly, and, well, enjoy. So life is good because we got our crispy boys. But do you want to know what else is crispy? B-roll.
Alright guys, and that is it. So, chicken katsu, yeah, it's fried chicken, you know, it's really tasty and it's crispy and you can't go wrong with that. You just can't. Albeit Complex Con, I decided last second, literally and by last second I mean last night, filming this video, throwing it together, editing it as fast as physically possible, blah, 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 so I don't have to worry about it, so I can get on the plane with peace of mind that there's a video for you to enjoy. The hell was that? Oh, it's somebody yelling on the road again. That's very nice. All right, on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right there. So if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.